wonderful to talk to this incredible young man here, the armored saint himself, Joey Vera, from the road. Are you on the road right now?
I am on the road. Thanks for
Hmm.
having me. I'm glad to be here again.
Yeah.
I'm in San Francisco at the moment. So yes, the road has begun.
I just spoke to Wino from The Obsessed. Individuals like yourselves, artist individuals like yourselves, have been longtime tour real road dogs. My question to you is, how do you do that? Because I mean, like I told Wino, just driving to the studio here, which is in LA, like what, an hour drove me nuts. How do you do? How do you deal with the road?
Yeah, better question is why? Not how, but why am I still doing this?
Yeah, I don't like to leave my house. What are you doing out there?
I don't like to be in the house either. I'll be honest with you, the older I get, it's harder to go away from home. I have a family and a daughter and she's getting a little older now, but it's hard to leave home. COVID messed me up because at first it was like, oh no, I couldn't go anywhere. COVID had to stay home. But then like after 6 months of that, I'm like, I kind of like staying home. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
And I don't care if the world's opening back up. I'm staying home.
yeah, I feel you.
No, but the truth is that I still do love to travel. I don't like to be away from home, but on the other hand, I really do like to travel. I like seeing, especially places I haven't been before. And so I love traveling and playing shows. The crowds are amazing, and it's great to see fans and people I haven't seen in a while. And so I still like that part of it. So that kind of keeps you going, makes you want to go out and see the world and meet people, share the music and the experience, the live setting, it's always a great thing. Ask me in like 6 more weeks, I might have a little different of an attitude, but
Right, right.
but I'm on day three, so far everything's going. It's good. Everything's great, So
Well,
here we are.
let's mention you're on tour right now with
Yeah,
Queensryche,
yeah.
and this is 2024, the 21st century. But it seems like everything has come full circle. You're on tour with Queensryche in the United States. What an incredible billing right there. How the tour started the other day here in Anaheim, California. Uh,
Yep.
how is it start? How was it? How is the show? How are you enjoying playing with Queensryche?
It's great. This is our third tour with them. We did a short tour in Europe with them back in 2016 or something like that. And then we did a US run with them in 17, something like that. Maybe I'm getting the years mixed up, but so this is our third tour with them. So we have a relationship with these guys already. They're great people, super down to earth. We all have we come from the same place. They obviously were like at one point mega huge, but those guys are so down to earth and we get along great. It's always a great thing touring with people that you consider friends. It just makes life and daily life so much easier. So we're grateful to be out with these guys again. They're super awesome people. Shows have been great. Today we did Anaheim was the first night at House of Blues, which was incredible. It sold out. The crowd was just awesome. And then last night we played Sacramento. That was also sold out, which was another amazing show. So far, two for two. It's been going great. Tonight there, we have they have a night off and they are traveling up north and they're doing a casino show tomorrow without us. So tonight we're on our own. We're playing headline show in San Francisco at the Great American Music Hall. We played here a couple years ago with UFO. So we're headlining tonight and it should be fun. We get a chance to play a longer set, adding a whole bunch of other songs. It's our night, so we're looking forward to that. It's a whole other experience for fans. And we're doing that throughout the tour. We're playing about 11 headline shows throughout the whole tour. So it's cool. There's a lot of diversity and variety going on with the dates with us, and the set lists are going to be different every night. So yeah, it's we're just getting started, so wish us luck, you know.
Yeah, right on. Well, you know what? Let's get this out now because you know how Los Angeles fans are. They start fucking hating right away. You're going to be
Yeah,
coming back to Los Angeles to headline here in LA,
we
correct?
are, and I, you know, I don't need to explain, but let me explain a little bit so people understand. Like, why didn't you tell me before I, went down to Anaheim or something? Well, there's a certain clause that you have to agree to when you book shows that you can't play a show, you can't promote a show within a certain area within a certain amount of time. So because we accepted the tour with Queensryche, they weren't doing an LA City show. So we wanted to play a headline show at least for our fans back in LA at hometown, right? But so we booked a show at the El Rey, which is May 22nd. Tickets just went on sale today. Um, but we couldn't announce it until after the Queensryche show at House of Blues
Right.
for contractual reasons. So that's the reason why we kind of had to keep it on the hush hush. But it was killing us because people were like, "Yeah, what? How come there's no LA show?" And I'm like, "Well, you know,
Yeah, yeah. And
no answer."
you know a specific crowd that lives in the Northeast LA. They were talking shit too. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, no LA show?
Yeah, I got a lot of that, and it's you have to bite your lip and say because you can't let it leak.
The
You don't want
lawyers
to mess it.
always win. The
Yeah,
lawyers
yeah.
always win.
So you don't want to mess it up. So we had to be hush hush, and so anyway, the show's gonna be cool. We got this band King, who is supporting us, and they're really cool guys. I met the guys a bunch of times, hung out with them a bunch. Really cool band. So it's gonna be a fun night. Like I said, May 22nd at El Rey Theater down in it's on Wilshire, I think, or
Correct.
Pico. I think it's on Wilshire. I forget. I've actually never played there, so it's gonna be fun to play there. I've seen a bunch of shows there, but I've never actually played there. So kind of a bucket list thing for me. It's a cool venue. So
In all seriousness, we were just joking about fans being upset about the no LA.
I
On,
understand it.
on
It's
the
not
on the
we're not
contrary,
joking.
your fan base is extremely loyal, and
Yeah.
they're always happy to see that you're playing. So this is going to be an amazing event in itself. But let's talk about the tour. You got some. You'll be going to Europe, I believe. After
Yeah. This run ends May 22nd. That's the last show at the El Rey, and then we have about oh shoot, what do we got? About probably about 2 months off. And then in late July, we head back to Europe. We got a bunch of we got a bunch of festival shows that we're playing, and in between the festival shows, we're doing about shoot probably nine headline shows, which includes like 5 UK shows, and so it's sort of we've never actually done a it's like a little mini UK tour, and we've never actually done that before. We've played the UK before, but not only like one or two cities or so. So this time we're doing about five. It's going to be cool. We're hitting a lot of areas of the UK, and never really done that. And those are all headline shows, so UK fans are going to get like an hour and a half worth of music, and it's going to be cool. So we're looking
why
forward to that. That's late July to late August.
why is it that I mean, this is going to sound ridiculous, but why do you think the Armored Saint loyalty and the appetite of the generational fan base is still ferocious in the 21st century?
I don't know. I mean, I don't certainly don't take that for granted. And I don't know that there's a silver bullet answer for that, other than the only thing I can really explain is that I feel like that we've always tried to, musically anyway, I feel like we've always tried to create new music, and we've always tried to stay true to our roots, like where we came from musically and where we grew up and just what our influences were. But at the same time, we're always pushing ourselves to be better songwriters and be creative. And we've been fortunate that our fan base comes with us along that journey. And it's not like we've done anything that's completely turned a lot of people off. Certainly, we don't. I'm not saying we please everybody all the time, because you just can't do that. It's impossible. But we're willing to take chances and challenge ourselves musically. We just want to be really honest and sincere with what we're writing and this and the music that we create and put out there. And I think that people know that. Like, they know that we're not out there just clocking in, churning out the same record and the same music over and over and over, just for, like, you know, for a buck or something. Like, we're willing to take a chance and maybe piss some people off, but I think that there's a sincerity and an honesty in that people see through, and they get it. So I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why people have come along the way, with us this whole time. In this period, this sort of self-realization didn't really start until, in my opinion anyway, didn't really start until we were writing for Symbol of Salvation between the years of 1988 and 1990. Dave Pritchard was with us, of course, during that time, so it was a big growth period for us, and I think that we were able to accept ourselves as these songwriters that wanted to say something more than just belong. We belong to a genre, and we can't do anything else outside the genre. Like, we didn't want those blinders on, so we were willing to take those chances and branch out. And I think that ever since Symbol of Salvation, for the most part, I'm not saying everybody, but for the most part, I think most fans have been willing to come along with this journey that we've been on.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think also it's the fact that in this day and age, people respond, even though they're hypnotized by their phones, they respond to sincerity and what is real. And there's one thing that, for me, all these decades is the Armored Saint sincerity of the live show and the camaraderie and the fact that you guys all had wonderful upbringings where you've kept your sincerity as a human, and you're humble, and that shows on the art and the music and in the performance. So
Yeah, and part of that, an extension of that, is the fact that we have all the same members that we've always had, with the exception of Dave Pritchard, who was obviously couldn't be with us because he lost his battle to leukemia. But we're the same band members. It's not like Armored Saint became this, this you know just a name, and that it's like John Bush and four other guys,
yeah, literally.
switching band members. Like, it's not that. Like, we're the same guys, and I think people appreciate that as well. And we've been fortunate enough to weather the weather life, and maintain our friendship, and maintain the fact that we see Armored Saint as something bigger than, it's bigger than any of us individually. So we have respect for the band and for Armored Saint, for what it means. So, look, it's not always easy. I mean, it's like going into business with family members, and this is what this is. We're family. It's not always easy, but we are able to pull up our bootstraps when things get tough, and just say, okay, let's just make this happen. Let's make it
as
work.
as family, do you guys have little, you guys go in the backyard and duke it out once in a while when
Yeah,
someone's getting out of line?
hell yeah, we do. We go through all that stuff, man. It's like, that's life. That's with any relationship, and we're not really ones to just say, ah, yeah, I don't like you anymore. We're gonna replace you. You
Right.
we duke it out. We say, look, this is, it's a tough thing. You gotta just come to terms. However you get there, come to terms, figure it out, and do it.
Oh, well put. Let's talk about new music. You're touring right now. The Brotherhood has lasted and will continue for the next century. What about new music? Is there pressure? Are you writing new music? Are you recording? Can you talk
Yeah,
about that?
yeah. No, we love making new music, and we're stoked still to be touring on our last record, Punching the Sky, which came out during COVID in 2020. But so we are still viewing this as a new record cycle tour for us, even though it's 4 years later. But we're still enjoying that. We still think of it as a new music, but by the same token, it's gonna be almost 5 years since we put out a record, so we've started writing about a year ago. We got about 6 or 7 tunes fully demoed and done, so we still have a lot of work to do. We had to put that on pause to do this tour,
Right.
but, when we come back and we get home, we're gonna resume writing. With any luck, hopefully we have something out in late 25 is kind of realistic with any luck. But in the meantime, we do have new music that we recorded. We have a new single, and it's just a standalone single that we did for fun. It's a cover tune of an old R&B song by the Four Tops
Nice.
called "One Chain Don't Make No Prison." And it's super heavy, but also super soulful and groovy. John Bush just killed it on the vocals. It sounds amazing. We got Metal Blade on board to release it as a digital only single. It's not going to be a part of the new record or anything. It's just a single. So that's coming out in June on Metal Blade Records. Um, we also shot a video for it. So it's super fun. It's super awesome and great. We're super stoked on it. So fans will get to see at least and hear just a taste of some, not new original music, but some new recordings from the band, something fun. And it's coming out in June, like I said, and we're super stoked on that. It's cool,
Do
really
you
cool.
do you still enjoy the creative writing process for Armored Saint, or does it become
Yeah.
with discography? Do you find yourself like, oh man, I used that riff on this album, or what I do here?
You know what? I mean, that does happen to me, but I still love the creative process. I mean, that's I have to say, like that might be the sole thing that keeps me going personally is having this opportunity to make new music with these guys and with the label Metal Blade. Um, that is one of the fires that burns the brightest in me. If I didn't have that and I would just had to go out on tour and just play these same songs over and over again without any prospect of new music or anything, I don't think I would do it. I think I'd be like, yeah, I got no more. I got no more to say, and I'm just clocking in, and fans are gonna see through that. Like that guy's just looking at his watch, you
Yeah,
know.
you'd be bitter like the Beach Boys, like, oh, I gotta play this shit again, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So the new music thing is really important for all of us. So yeah, I still love writing and the process of writing and everything. I have to admit sometimes it gets a little tough. Like you said, we've made a lot of records and written a lot of music, and sometimes it's like, shoot, what else do I got to say, But to answer your question, like sometimes I do find like myself, like well, that riff kind of reminds me of another song that we wrote. But when I get to that point, I sort of say to myself, "So what? We wrote it. It's like
Yeah,
if it
right.
sounds like an old Armored Saint song, well, of course. But if it sounds too much like an old Maiden song or another, a Metallica riff or something, then I'd be like, oh, wait a minute, wait, we got to change this up a little bit 'cause that's too, that's blasphemy, too much, But if it's something that's like, if something reminds me of like, an old song that was on Symbol or Raising Fear or something, I'll embrace that. I'll be like, yeah, why not? That's cool.
Right on, man. Let me ask
Yeah.
you this. How do you navigate from the 21st century sensitivity minefield of today where everybody gets so offended with anything? How do you creatively or do you even not even pay attention to that?
uh, I mean, I would say like that might be an answer for John to answer with a question for John to answer rather, lyrically might, be something, but I don't think John's ever really written anything too controversial in that way anyway. John always likes to write in a way where it's pretty open to interpretation. So he's never really too specific about certain things, but you know, but I mean, I have my opinion about all that. I, we were just joking about it earlier. It's funny you bring that up because we were joking about all this earlier about how certain things in certain movies, for instance, we were quoting this movie, um, Kentucky Fried Movie earlier, and there's some scenes in that movie that are hilarious, and like you could never get away with that. It's just like people nowadays would get so upset and insulted, but it's like a time and place thing. When it was in the 70s, I mean, I don't know why, but somehow it was okay to poke fun at each other and ourselves. Like, it was never a racial thing when a Mexican was making fun of another Mexican. But now it's like you can't say anything these days. And I don't know, I think it's gone a little extreme personally. I think that there's humility in making fun of yourselves and other people and other things and people within reason. I mean, not without getting too deep, but you know, ball busting. I mean, come on, it's a
Yeah.
part of so many cultures. Like, why are we changing this?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people have been disconnected from each other and from the true
Yeah,
bond of emotion and heart. I mean, look at Mel Brooks and his movies and all that. I mean, it's
it's
all
a
in
great
fun.
example.
It's all in fun, and
Great example.
I'm guilty of that. My social media presence. I speak unfiltered. People think I'm fucking. People trying to get restraining orders for me for no reason. But anyways, I only look
Yeah,
through
I
videos.
totally agree. I totally agree. And I mean, look, it's kind of it's a part of social interaction that's just getting diluted, and like you pointed out, it's getting diluted because of these stupid, you know, these things that we hold in our hands all day long. And by the way, I'm holding one right now in my hand,
Yeah, it's
but
part of life
I'm
now.
using it. I'm I'm using it to my technological advantage. It's a practical use right now. But I agree. Spend way too much time looking at what other people are doing with their lives, and we're not in this presence of each other, like sitting around a table having a beer or cup of tea or whatever your thing is, and shooting the shit.
Yeah,
We're
man.
not doing that enough.
We're not listening to a Motorhead record or a Thin Lizzy record and talking shit about, fucking each other.
Exactly. We need to do more of that.
Does it bother you when you're playing live and people are more fixated, like certain people we know in our neighborhood that are just recording and taking nonstop pictures of you instead of embracing and swallowing and soaking up the
Yeah.
essence of the Armored Saint live show?
Yeah, I have a beef with that. I don't really dig it. I mean, look, I don't mind the occasional lifting of the phone, take a few snaps, but put the phone away after that. I mean, I'm
The
guilty of that
whole
too.
set, Joey, the whole set.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I do that too. Like, I was on the Monsters of Rock cruise. We played a show on the Monsters of Rock cruise a couple of weeks ago, and I went to go see Glenn Hughes band, and they played, and I went to go see him. And I'm a huge Deep Purple Glenn Hughes fan, and he's so amazing. He's so good. And I just couldn't help myself. Pulled out my phone, snapped a few pictures, but I put my phone right back. You
Right.
know, and I'm so guilty of that too. But the people that sit there and the whole show, it's like if you're gonna stand there with this phone in front of your face and the between you and me is this phone, why don't you go in the other room and we can have a wall between us?
Right.
It's the same thing. So I'd rather if you're gonna be in the venue and you paid your, $30 or whatever to come in to see a show, watch the show with your eyes, like engage. So
I
yeah, I
agree.
have a beef with people who watch the whole show through their phones, and are videotaping. It's like, why are you videotaping? I'm so old. Um, recording on their phones. It's like this is not going to look good later, trust me, or sound good. So why why are you recording this? Be in the moment. You're gonna get more pleasure out of it right now by putting your phone back in your pocket.
Yeah, the 21st century, Joey. I'm finding it hard to adapt to the new way of living. Let's
I hear you.
recap. Armored Saints on tour right now with Queensryche. Queensryche is doing what is it? The EP and the first Warning
Mm,
record, I believe, the first record.
they are. They open with the EP and they go straight into Warning. It's killer. I just watched it for the first time last night. And then they play some hits at the end,
Of course.
but that's the bulk of the show is the super old school stuff, and it sounds amazing. And I forgot how like intricate and like heavy these guitar parts are on the EP. I haven't listened to it in a while, and I was like, wow, can't believe how ahead of its time it was, really. So it's killer.
Does that
It's a good show.
does that inspire you guys to maybe do another full album tour of the classics? One of from the discography, and maybe bring back the John Bush night fighting
Uh,
scenes. Us
I don't
older,
know.
us older fan base want to see that.
Well, we have loosely talked about it, but I don't know. It was really fun to do that with Symbol of Salvation. It was a unique thing. We've never done it, and it was kind of challenging to do every night. And that was good for us as musicians and guys in the band. We it was challenging to do that every night. So it was a really good experience, and I might do it again, in the future. Not sure what, but I don't know. It could be fun. We haven't really talked about it that seriously. Ironically, this year might have been the year to do something because our first record, March of the Saint, is celebrating 40 years this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
So this would have been the year to do like, March of the Saint front to back, but I told that to John the other day and he's like, fuck no, I'm not playing NB live, you know. I was cracking up. But we were just busting balls joking, but anyway, but you never know. Maybe sometime in the future.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Armored Saint playing period live is impeccable. New music, we will be waiting and anticipating the new music. Hopefully, once you finish doing the tours, you'll be
Yeah.
doing your own headlining dates here in Los Angeles. Let's mention that date again, so everybody fucking gets their tickets and stops, talking shit about the San Francisco headlining date.
Yeah, I think it's May 22nd, right? At the El Rey in LA. And we're doing a bunch of headline shows, like I said, on this run. We're doing a bunch in Texas. We're playing at Counts Vamped in Vegas the night
Beautiful.
before LA. So I have some friends from LA that are going out to the Vegas show. That's going to be killer. We're doing a few shows in Texas, and Dangerous Toys are supporting us. And those guys are great friends of ours too. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, the headline show is killer. We have a whole bunch of deep cuts we haven't played in a while. So that's gonna be fun to do, and fans appreciate the deep cuts. So yeah, it's killer. We're looking forward to this tour, and like I said, we're just getting started. So we got a long way to go. This is 7 weeks long, and I don't think we've done a tour this long. I don't think we've ever done a tour this long. Not even in the 80s. Maybe the longest tour we did was on the Raising Fear tour. That might be the last time we did a tour this long. It's been like in 87. So,
Wow.
and we're like we're in our, dude, we're in our 60s. It's like I don't know. What's this luck?
Well, listen, man. You guys are doing it. You guys always kill it live on stage. New music is being demoed as we speak, correct?
It is, yeah. Like I said, we got a handful of songs, and it's still going. We still got some things on the burner. As soon as we get back, we got to finish up some stuff, and we're still writing and still pumped. So
I
you haven't heard the
wish
last of us.
the Saint legions are awaiting. The European Saint legions are ready to go to battle. Joey Vera, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And personally,
Thank you,
it's always great to see you doing well. And
thank you, Jimmy.
it's
Appreciate
great.
it.
It's great to see a person of your caliber stay real. With that, I wish you the best, my friend.
Thank you, brother, very much. Glad to be back here. Come back anytime. So thanks for having me.
Cheers, Joey. All
All
right,
right,
my
man.
friend. I think we covered it all.